What's up, humans? How's it hanging? I'm the Nerdy Beard and welcome back to World of Warplanes, and today I am going to be bringing you a video on the DH.98 Mosquito. This is a Tier 6 heavy fighter on the British line, and this is the next in the progression along the tech tree from one of my absolute favourites, the Monster Bowfighter at Tier 5. So what we've got here in the Mosquito is something very similarly sized, nowhere near as tall because it doesn't feature that enormous rotating turret on top, but certainly an absolute monster of an aircraft anyway. So what we've got here is not so much a monster of a gun platform, but more so a bit more of a versatile type aircraft. And I know it really comes with everything that the Beaufighter did as well, except for the sheer quantity of forward-firing guns. But what you've also got here is something that's a little bit quicker, I feel, a little bit more agile and able to have a really good impact depending on everybody's playstyle, not so much somebody who just loves to gun everything that they see in front of them. Okay, so what we've got here, jumping into the service very quickly now, I don't have a whole lot unlocked, so what I've been doing is furiously grinding over the last little while because I definitely owe you guys some quick videos due to my very long absence. So what we've got here in the cockpit, we have the usual options. First aid dressing, we have the fire extinguisher, and then we've got fireworks. Who wants that rubbish? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the first aid package. So normally I would kind of go with the fire extinguisher, but I'm thinking just because I'm going to be playing this very aggressively, I'm going to be firing and flying straight at a lot of aircraft in this thing to get those really big guns to work. So I'm thinking a first aid package to heal the pilot over the flamethrower over the fire extinguisher is going to be a little bit better to what I'm going to be doing in this aircraft. Okay, so you have the normal engine modification upgrades as well, the armor, the combined injection boost system, which probably could be quite useful if you find yourself getting into a lot of trouble in a lot of games. I'm not so sure about the upgraded engine, so getting a little bit more thrust versus resistance to fire. I feel like seeing set on fire and the over the time sort of damage that it'll do. It's not, it doesn't really balance itself out, so I'm not really a big fan of this upgraded engine type thing anyway, not unless you're on a fighter that seems to suffer a little bit from speed. Maybe that might put you sort of a little bit better in the fight. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave it for a little while because I haven't really had much of a need to use these extra bits and pieces, mostly because you don't really see many other real players. Unfortunately, the state of the game, there aren't that many people on, certainly not at the times that I play being in Australia, but playing on the North America server, most people are asleep or at work. So what I find is no real need to be spending those extra credits on those things, so I'm just going to leave them for now, and what you can do is make your mind up as you go. So in terms of consumables, always run the consumables. I'm going to grab the manual engine restart, so any speed loss in this monster of a thing is going to severely impact your ability to fight, so we're going to make sure we have that restarter available at all times. Okay, now jumping into the ammunition, universal ammunition because why not? And forward firing weapons. So we have reinforced bolt carriers, long gun barrels, and Gauss operated action. So something that we haven't actually seen in this new round of updates and the interface changes is something to do with the weapons because you can upgrade them quite significantly in this aircraft. So you've got 4% burst length to forward firing offensive armament with a loss to accuracy. You have 4% range with a minus 3% burst length forward firing offensive armament. Okay, and gas operated rate of fire versus a loss of accuracy. Now, likewise on this one, I'm probably not going to mount any of them at this stage. Maybe down the future, I might actually go with an accuracy gain, purely because those cannons really fire at a much slower rate. So I need to make sure those things are hitting more often right before the cannons overall overheat. So I'm not actually wasting those shells that I'm firing. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Nice and quick. We're not going to waffle on too much longer. So I'm going to hit apply on that one. Okay, and then a quick duck into the upgrades. Now, what we've got here, I don't actually have the top engine researched yet, basically for the interest of getting a video out. I thought the second one is okay for now. So what you can see here is very similar to the Beaufighter. You have upgrade to almost everything that it can be upgraded. You have your choice of bombs and rockets rather than one or the other, which is great. I like that feature. It makes it a very versatile and hard-hitting aircraft. So obviously the two biggest bombs, a little bit of a cost in airspeed, but that's what that is. And 8 rockets. Now, I'm not really sure I remember to even use rockets sometimes, but if I do go into a ground attack role, they are very useful. And you have your your 4 303 Browning machine guns and 4 20mm cannons, which makes this a very formidable opponent, whether it's behind you, in front of you, sideways, or whether it's going to the ground. Alrighty, so that's just about enough for this one. I'm going to jump into a battle, and let's see how she goes. Back in a sec. Okay, here we are. So only a 3 area map to capture there. So a little disappointing, but let's go. So I'm just going to go straight for this northern missile base here. With bombs and the rockets and the cannons, I should be able to have a fairly strong effect on capturing this area as soon as possible. So, let's have a look. Sorry, mic cutting in and out there. Okay, so we've got here very good altitude performance generally for something this big. So it doesn't like going too fast, but you can see it can actually get quite high off the ground. But we certainly don't want to be all the way up there. We want to be down here using the bombs and the rockets to their maximum effect. So down there, let's get some rockets off. Now, I will be the first to admit I'm not actually very good at judging distances and things for rockets. So just going to throw them out there and see how we go. And look at this. So this thing definitely moves, and it feels quite quickly when it gets down low like that. So we did some good work there. So let's get it around and take advantage of the last few areas to clean it up, and we can get this area captured for the good guys. Okay, doing a bit of damage there. Now remember also, this is a very big, heavy aircraft. Do not leave it too late to pull up. Very, very, very bad. If you guys watch the heavy fighter video that I did in the American tech tree, I basically went straight down into the ground before I had a chance to even change my momentum. Okay, so let's get rid of this guy. He's in my area. I want this base. And there you go. See that firepower there? Very, very similar to the Beaufighter. And what's great about these cannons over the Beaufighters, and by a lot of cannons in general, is that they fire for a very long time before they overheat, which makes it very, very useful to sit in areas for long periods of time and to maintain the fire rate. Because you see, they're just going to chew just about everything up. So remember, don't forget to pull up there. And here we go. So I'm going to just boost away for now. I don't have any rockets, don't have any bombs. And I've just sort of been here for a little while. I need to just reset where I'm at and not get caught out by myself if I can help it. So a bit more distance, and let's see how we go here. So coming back in for another run. Just going to slow down a touch as well. Okay, yeah, so yeah, cannons are good and all. They're very good against bigger aircraft, but I'm not really doing a whole lot of damage here now, which is really taking me out of the game pretty much. There's not a lot I can do by just constantly strafing the ground with these cannons. So I'm going to go looking. Okay, we got that area. Fantastic. Looks like my ally came across there and managed to clean up the defenses. So into the center I go, and I'm going to help get this center back here with my guns, and hopefully we can capture it back and make this a shutout. That would be very helpful indeed. Alright, so a slightly smaller aircraft. It doesn't really seem to be too interested in what I'm doing. Get a boost through the turn to make sure it doesn't get away. And let's sort this guy right out. Okay, so maneuverability is well on showcase here. It's kind of rubbish. But when you're facing a bot who's not really interested in saving his own skin, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, good opportunity there to showcase just how hard it is to turn this thing around sometimes. Certainly flaps do help, but certainly don't rely on them because they're not really going to be your friend. Oh, and there's an engine out, and we're not looking too flash at all on health, and there we go. Okay, Midnight Cowboy Warrior. So that is a real player, so no surprises there. That is good night for me. Okay, well, I guess we've got a few seconds to wait now and see what's happening with the map. So it is 2-1 on positions, thank you very much, and we are sitting on 3,500 combat points. Definitely not enough at this stage. We want to be doing a lot more work than that. Okay, so let's get straight back into it now. I'm just having a look at what we've got going on here. There are a few bad guys over here, but I can't actually see them. Maybe there's some bombers around. Perhaps that's what's going on. So that is a little bit outside of my jurisdiction all the way up there. So let's do some bombing, I think. That's probably not a bad idea. And we also have these missiles coming in. So this center base is definitely going to be ours quite soon. Alright, so what do we got going on? Let's put it into dive. Anything around here? No, it looks like we might actually be going for the fighters. So that's fine. There's nothing left here in terms of ground targets. Alrighty. P40. Let's do it. Alright, good damage there. Now we're just looking for some accuracy. And he is busy with that guy there. Fantastic. And that is one chevron for us. Excellent. So now I'm in a little bit of a pickle. So I'm completely surrounded and I'm in a boosted turn. It's not really doing me a whole lot of favors. And that's same again. So that guy is really cleaning me up in terms of those defensive points. Maybe I might need to change up my strategy here a little bit. Get higher and come down and surprise him from above. Okay, so there we go. It's Very, very powerful aircraft, excellent guns, good bombs, good rockets, but certainly not a turn and burn type aircraft. You really need to have your space to maneuver, and you really need to be aware of your surroundings. So I'm not quite doing that as well as I should be, and I'm really starting to pay the price now. So that's 2 deaths in quick succession, and I've spent a lot of this game in the respawn menu, which is absolutely no good. So hopefully now let's think about it. So what do we got going on here? There's lots of guys in the middle. I might come down to the southern zone and make a pest of myself here. Let's just get some altitude as well. Let's attack from above, and hopefully not give them any opportunity to have much of a reaction to my presence. So get down there, do all the damage that I need to quickly, and then get on out of the way. Okay, so what have we got going on here? So out there to my left, and okay, he's almost dead, so it looks like I'm coming back in from this way. So I think that fighter's going to handle him. I want to get in here, and I actually really want to get some revenge on that guy who shot me down twice, but I really don't want to make a fool of myself doing it. So let's see how we go. Okay, it looks like he's not really interested, or hasn't seen me quite yet. This hopefully will be in my favour, and no, it doesn't matter, the game is over. So I almost had it, but not quite. Yeah, so quite quick game there, but hopefully good to showcase the firepower and the manoeuvrability and the positives and the weaknesses of this aircraft. Alrighty guys, back to the hangar, I'll see you in a sec. Alrighty, and back in the hangar. So we do love a good game, and especially when it's a win. So there we go, so 23,000, sorry, getting a bit tongue-tied. 23,000 credits there, 2,436 XP, and 121 free XP. Thank you very much for the win. Okay, into the personal score here. So we ended up getting 2 captures and 3 kills. So probably not quite what I was after in terms of showcasing the anti-air firepower of this beast, but certainly did some good damage on that ground there, and earned us everyone for the effort. So let's have a look here at the team score. So, didn't quite get as much as our T6 friend here in the LA5, but got the chevron, which put us on top. Now, that's not a whole lot of points there. The game was over very quickly, and I feel like I probably flew this just a little bit too much like a fighter. Give yourself some more time, get plenty of space in between yourself and the enemies, and really plan your approach. Otherwise, now, I will say also he was in a Tier 7, but this guy, and he certainly knew what he was doing, without the vision and the plan going into a battle with some fighters there, you got no hope. You're going to get absolutely slaughtered, and that's what you saw happen to me right there. I basically just turned and started shooting, didn't figure out where I was or what was around me, and it was all over. Alrighty, so that's about it, guys. Nice and short for this one. I will finish upgrading this, and I'm actually planning to get this one all the way up to Specialist to get the most out of the aircraft. And then I'm thinking I'm going to do another video on it, because it certainly deserves a really good, thorough look in, and something that should be done when it is 100% fully upgraded. But hopefully you still enjoyed it. Hopefully you got an idea of what to look for and what to do when you get this aircraft, and hopefully it did actually inspire you to carry on down the British heavy fighter line. Alrighty guys, if you like what you've seen, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also any comments are very much appreciated. I'd love to have a chat about this aircraft and any of the others that I've featured or you reckon that I should feature here on the channel. I'm going to continue my merry way down through all the tech lines, but there's something you guys would like to see, I will certainly be sure to focus on getting there. That's all for me guys, thanks very much. I'm the Nerdy Beard, take it easy.